Okay, on this video we're gonna show you how to use DLBT benchmark. After installation, you may see here that on the left side is gonna appear all your devices. This is gonna be the CPU and the GPUs. The good thing with this, the good thing with DLBT benchmark is that you can test all your GPUs at the same time. As you can see here, we got 4 GPUs on this computer. Another cool feature that we have is that you can individually test the GPUs. These allow you for troubleshooting when you have a problem, let's say on the computer with 4 GPUs or even more. You can just select one by one and detect which GPU has the problem. Now, parameters on deep learning, they are complicated sometimes and you need to research. We make everything simple for you and it can be changed easily on the GUI. For instance, we're gonna go to benchmarks and then we're gonna select the benchmark we want to run. For now, we have a bunch of different benchmark for image recognition that you can select depending on the kind of hardware that you're running with. In this test, we're gonna be running ResNet 50. So you click on that benchmark and click apply. After that, we're gonna change the parameters of the benchmark. So we're gonna click on tools and test settings. Batch size is important if you have your GPU have more gigabyte of RAM. For example, the 2080 Ti come with 11 gig, but the RTX 8000 or the Titan come with 24 and the 8000 come with 48. Some cases, developers or technicians want to try and use all the VRAM on the GPU for benchmarking and make sure the quality of the hardware. So for this, we can change the batch size here, pretty simple. We're gonna put 32 on this case. And then we can select the mix precision. We can select FP16. This is for the new video cards like RTX, they use tensor cores, or we can use FP32, which is the normal. XLA is a new feature on TensorFlow, which allows you to include bigger benchmarks, to run larger benchmarks on smaller VRAM on the GPU. You can select that, or you can just unselect it. The number of episodes is important here because this is how many times the benchmark is going to be running. So for now, it's going to be running 1,000 times, but you can select if you want to have for a long period of time in order to stress out your hardware longer. In this case, we're going to make 1,000 times, and then we're going to click apply. So as you can see here at the bottom, you got the benchmark, ResNet 50. The times it's going to be testing is 1,000 times, batch size is 32, and no XLA. And floating point, it's 16. Okay, so now we're gonna select the GPU and we're gonna start with one. So we're gonna see how this benchmark is gonna scale between multiple GPUs. So we're gonna start with one 2080 Ti, and once everything is done, you go to the bottom and click run. At this stage, if you want to monitor the GPUs, you can open the terminal and then type watch Nvidia SMI. Running this command allows you to monitor the GPUs and see the temperatures and how it's being used. For instance, right now we can see that just one GPU is being utilized. It's using 6 gigs of RAM compared with 11 gig that it comes. It's utilizing 97% of the GPU and the temperature of the GPU here. Now, this system we are running on is a water cooling system. You should expect higher temperatures on air cooling systems. The good thing when it's running the benchmark is, aside for gaming benchmarks that they just utilize the graphic power of the GPU, this benchmark is using everything. It's using all the VRAM of the GPU, it's using all the power of the GPU, and more important, is using all the CUDA cores and also the tensor cores. Tensor cores are not being utilized on benchmarking for gaming, but here everything on the GPU is stressed out. Once you run this benchmark for hours, 2-3 hours, you realize that the quality of the GPU, and if you are a company that sell hardware, this is the way to go. Now on the left side, you can see that the benchmark is performing. Right now, this on the left is images per second. The higher the images, the better the performance. If a long period of time after running the benchmark, your GPU goes down on image classification, on image per second, means that something is wrong with the GPU. So you can detect it at the right moment and then replace the GPU. Once the benchmark is finished, it gives you two options. The first one is to save into the console here onto the UI, and the second one you can share in a website, so everyone can see it, your customers or your friends can see the performance of your computer. In order to do this, you just click on share, and then it's gonna ask you for username and password. If you're not registered, you can go to technopremio.com, and here you can register your account. And after that, you can log in. I already have my account, so I'm gonna upload my results. After you put your information, just click upload records, and you will get the successful uploaded test. Means that your results are online for everyone to watch it. Now, if you want to see your results online, you go to your account, or you go to community results, and here you will see, you look for the benchmark, in this case ResNet 50, and you can see the benchmark running right now. So we run this one. Once you click on that, you got a lot of information. For example, the CPU you use, the amount of cores they have, the GPU that you'll be using, the total memory, the clock speed, a bunch of more information. And if you need to look for something in particular, you just click here and type, like say, a video card, and it will look for the video card that you want to know. Okay, so that was an overview of how to launch the benchmark and how to set up the settings for different type of deep learning benchmark. So on the next video, we're gonna show you how to run the benchmark on multiple GPUs to see a really increase on performance.